Y'all wanna meet Jerry? This is Jerry. What an anticlimax!
On today's episode, we are going to attempt to pour the wings, or the remaining wings, of this Angel.
Gonna be honest with you all, this size shell is actually one of the biggest that I've poured.
Kiln time. Kiln, open. Oosh!
Science! Gas in. So what I'm thinking is that we grind this out, we get some stainless steel box section, and then we cut a section out in the wing. We weld a box section into this opening of the shoulder, and then we'll weld that inside the wing, so it's got almost like a big sort of industrial pin, if you like. Y'all wanna meet Jerry? This is Jerry. What an anticlimax! What the goddamn? Oh, he's not even plugged in. Sorry, guys. Wanna meet Jerry? This is Jerry. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in. I'm just going to sort of cut away and create an opening here so that I can at least then weld a fixing in this section so that when we do apply the wings, this can take the weight. Don't fall in. No! Ah! I'm gonna have to hook that out with something. Anyway, got ourselves a decent hole. Weld up a load of frame in there, have the pipe coming out, and I will do the same on this wing. Beautiful. So thinking about it, I think the thing to do would be to make some form of U-bend structure out of a stainless steel box so that we can then have it going through each shoulder or each wing and they meet each other. Then they get welded in here and then obviously they can come out at the right angle that it needs to be welded into the bottom of the wing, and that's going to give us our most strength, I think. So we're going to weld up some form of frame for it to go in there. We'll weld it top and bottom or side to side, and then it's going to be super strong. That way we're going to have some super strong wings and they're not going to fall off or injure anyone. I was going to be using this stainless box section to create some form of armature, if you like, because if you think about it, the wings, when they're on at that angle and they're pointing at this trajectory, they're wanting to naturally want to fall towards the floor. So I've got this 20mm stainless threaded bar, which I'm thinking about welding it in. If I make an incision here and an incision there, bring the two ends up, re-weld that fixing, and then fix it into the body so it's completely solid. And because the edges of the wings meet this edge here, I can really reinforce the weld around this section so it's completely solid, and that when the wings want to go naturally down, this structure is holding it in place so that it's just completely solid. I mean, I'm going to obviously over-engineer this, so you know, I feel confident that it works, and more so that it's safe when transporting and obviously putting into situ as well. But I feel like I know what I'm doing now, and I'm just going to crack on and get on with it. So gang, just a quick update on what Lucas has been doing. Like I say, he's just shimmed up the different sections then for the case building. So this is going to be a 2-part mold, but a 4-part jacket. And this tree here is going to be, it's a very difficult cast, this, because the tree branches there molding out there are going to be detachable to this tree in here. So what we've done is we've made a mold where each tree trunk opening is going to be hollow, so that we can then work out and fix different box sections in the branch and in the tree, so that we're going to have a male and female component, that when the customer buys the tree, it comes already in sections, and all they need to do is unpack it, slot it all together. It's super strong, and then, you know, they can enjoy it for the rest of their days to come. So what we're going to do now, or Lucas is going to do now, is he's going to finish the rubber. They're going to fiberglass jacket this whole piece, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to cast the whole tree so that it's nice, fits together, and works well. But let's go and see what the guys are up to now. As you can see, they've just put the final layer of resin on this jacket, and what they do, just to give you a little trick and tips, ow! As you can tell, this stuff is nasty. So to eradicate any surface splinters, we like to rough sand the top of the jacket and then brush over a thin layer of pure resin just to give it that super smooth feeling. And then what they'll do is they'll just sand these edges so they're not horrible to handle, because they end up giving you splinters and nastiness. And as you can see, Lucas is just fiberglassing up, and he's just brushing on now a load of thick resin. So as you can see, all this resin's in the locator holes, and what they'll do is they'll brush up and lay up some resin on some fiberglass, and they'll just start stippling it down and rollering it off so that it's all nice and smooth. If you listen to that furnace, it's spluttering away. The gas is losing pressure, because I feel like that burner draws more energy than the bottle can actually give. So very quickly, the gas freezes and stops giving you as much pressure as you need. So we're just going to change the bottle. All that iced up, all that's frozen, so it's not giving you all the pressure it needs. So I just need to change the bottle, right, and get back to it. So before we actually start prepping the thread for the Angel, I just want to show you what this monster is. This is a heavy bit of kit. So this is a part of an ammonite sink that I helped sculpt for a guy who actually made me this staircase, which you can't see. This lovely staircase with like driftwood oak and all the rest of it. Anyway, in return for him making me this, I sculpted him this, and now we're casting it into bronze, and it's all been tacked together now. We have got a few other sections that we need to cast, the middle section, and then this big bowl, the big old draining board. It's actually going to be a sink, which is absolutely crazy. It's going to look amazing, but these two connect together. So that's another video for another time. And then we'll just sort of see this one progress as the days go on, and the welds get welded and the welds get fettled, So, but this is going to look like an absolute diamond of a piece, and I cannot wait to see it all finished. But we've got the Angel to attend to, so let's crack on with that. Don't worry, Jordan. Feel free to step in at any time. Hup, hup.
In those knees. Whoo.
How do they stand like this for so long? Just putting it in just to get a rough idea. So now it's telling me that I need to actually just make that a bit squarer. So I can weld those up. So I've just cut two 45-degree angles and I'm going to welded it. I'm going to start welding it now so it's actually nice and square. Because just cutting it and bending it is not really that accurate. I mean, this isn't 100% accurate, but at least they look equal. And the fact that the backs of the Angel's wings are one set back and the other one set forwards, we need to try and make it so that it fits in and welds quite nicely. Otherwise you end up something cockeyed and it doesn't work properly. As you can tell, I've welded up all of this 20mm thread. I'm popping it in, and I think the best thing to do, the wisest thing to do, is to cast the two bottom sections, which is what we're about to do now, and offer it up to the join, so then I can see where's best for this thread to be welded on the inside of that part. Otherwise, if I weld it in now and I have to unweld it or grind it back and take it out, I'd rather be thinking smart than hasty. So, the shells in the kiln are nice and toasty. The furnace is almost up to temperature, so I'm going to crack my levers on and get ready for pouring. So I've just put another ingot in. I feel like we've got to put one more ingot in once that one's melted down. There's 4 ingots and a couple cups. That's going to give us about 52 kilos. So we've got a little bit excess of bronze left in there so that we actually have some left over. We don't want to leave ourselves short because that way you'll end up with half a poured shell, and we don't want that. We want to be able to pour some leftovers in those molds that we've got on top of the furnace so that we can then obviously have a nice cast once it's done.